What's up, nerds? This is Chesh here, and I come back to you today with a new deck tech. This one is around the brand new Oathbreaker format. I'll give you a quick overview, but if you look at the video down below, I've linked to Tellurian Community College's video on what Oathbreaker is. So basically, it is a 60-card singleton format, just like Commander in a way that you can only have singletons in your deck. You get a Commander, but you also get a signature spell that has to share colors with your commander, or a color with your commander. So that's pretty exciting. Command attacks is still relevant for both these cards. Life total's 20. So main deck is going to have 58 cards, and then you've got these two to make up your 60. Your Planeswalker, your Oathbreaker, has to be on the field for you to be able to actually cast your signature spell. So what are we doing? I know it looks like a Storm deck, because pretty much it's in the name. It's a Storm deck. Alright, great. So, Ral is whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, you get to do 1 damage to target player, well, opponent really, but that doesn't matter, or Planeswalker. For the +2, you can scry 1, which is actually pretty good in this deck. And for -2, when you play your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you can copy it and choose new targets, which is great. Doesn't really sound like it goes that well with Grapeshot until you realize that Storm actually makes copies of Grapeshot, and the Storm also does copies. So you're going to be doing your Grapeshot damage. Let's say you've got 10 on the stack, including the Grapeshot. You're doing 10 damage, but Ral actually makes it 20. You're going to knock somebody out. It's a thing. This is a bit of a slower deck because it's only Izzet, which means no Manamorphose, and I'm actually missing a ritual, which is fine, and I'll get to that later. So pretty much what we're looking at doing is we want to go and either storm somebody out with a storm combo, or we just want to actually combo them out. Double cast. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, copy that spell. You can choose new targets for the copy. Okay, so -2 to Ral. Cast this, make a copy. While the copy is on the stack, we're going to cast Expansion, and we're going to copy target instant or sorcery spell with a converted mana cost 4 or less, and we can choose new targets. Infinite combo! Yep, I know, it's gross. Also works, of course, with our mage, and good old bonus round. So because we trigger on copies, we can just basically kill the entire table. It sounds really gross, and if you don't want to play this, I absolutely understand. Because at the end of the day, if you're anything like me, you just want to play Magic, right? So you're going to have a chance to play Magic. Not unlike any other Storm deck, you're going to have Desperate Rituals. Desperate Ritual adds 3 red for 1 red and 1 colorless. Pyretic Ritual, again, much the same. Snap, which isn't technically, it isn't technically a ritual as such, but it's pretty much a free card, bounces your opponent's creature, lets you untap up to 2 lands, can be really good in supplying you the extra blue you need in this deck. We of course have mana reduction in the form of Goblin Electromancer and Baral, Chief of Compliance, with the added bonus that if you get to counter something, you can basically loot, which is great, right? Okay, terrific. Next up, it's great that we've got mana reduction, it's great that we've got an infinite combo, but if we just want to play and we want to maybe kill the table slowly, how are we going to do that? Well, we're going to use Mystical Tutor to go searching for any instant or sorcery card, and put that on top of our deck, because we can draw it by all of this stuff which you're about to see. We do have Gamble, so search your library for a card, put it into your hand, discard a card at random, shuffle your library, which is great, and we'll actually get back to your prime target for this in just a second, because again, we're playing Storm, so I think you know where that's going. Serum Visions, draw a card and scry 2 for a blue. Gitaxium Probe, we're generally going to be paying 2 life here to look at an opponent's hand and draw a card. Opt, scry 1 and draw a card. Preordain, scry 2 and draw a card. Brainstorm, drawing 3 cards, and then put 2 of those from your hand back on top of your library in any order. So it can help you filter out some lands back onto the top if you need to. We've got Ponder, of course. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. Then you may shuffle your library and draw a card. Can clear lands as well. Speaking of clearing lands, we've got Careful Study. 1 blue, draw 2, discard 2. Faithless Looting. I have so much faith in this card. For 1 red, draw 2, discard 2. Peer Through Depths. 1 blue and 1 colors to look at the top 5 cards off your library. You can reveal an instant or sorcery from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. Pretty good for digging. We have Tormenting Voice, of course. As an additional cost, discard a card, but then you can draw 2 cards. We have Desperate Ravings, which is draw 2 and discard a card at random, but it has flashback, so that's real good. We do have an Is It Charm, so this is a modal spell for an Is It, or a blue and a red. You can choose one, counter target non-creature spell unless its controller pays 2, or Is It Charm deals 2 damage to target creature, or draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards. You see the theme here. We of course have a Remand. I put this in with the card drawing because a lot of the time you're probably going to be bouncing a combo piece back to your hand to get an extra storm stack, basically. So counter target spell, if that spell would be countered this way, put it into its owner's hand instead of that player's graveyard and then draw a card. We also have a Treasure Cruise, which is basically a panic button. I need to draw a bunch of cards, panic, panic, panic. It's great when you're discarding a whole bunch as well. We've got Bedlam Renoir. So this is another way you can actually kill your opponent because it has prowess. Costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard, which is great. So most of the time this is going to cost 2 red to cast for a 3/4 with prowess. And of course the Cephalid Coliseum, because you're likely going to have Threshold pretty easily in this deck. So that seems a lot of fun, but what else can we do? What other tricky dicks can we do? Mission Briefing. And again, it's kind of like a tutor in a way in this deck, but it's really good because we're always going to have instants or sorcery cards in our graveyard. So we can Surveil 2, then choose an instant or sorcery card in our graveyard. Then we can cast that card this turn. If it would be put into a graveyard, exile it instead. It's a cat. Bye, mister. We've got Narset's Reversal. So copy target instant or sorcery spell and then return it to its owner's hand. You can choose new targets. And of course we have Thing in the Ice, because what deck like this wouldn't be complete without having a flippy, shiny Thing in the Ice. This one in particular is just because you're going to be playing instants and sorceries so much that you may as well put it in here, because it's also basically a board wipe for non-horror creatures, because it'll bounce them all. Lotus Petal. Mostly this just actually helps our storm count. Can provide an extra mana if we need it. So we're always happy to draw into a Lotus Petal because it's free mana. Lightning Bolt. That actually just helps us go off, gives us a little bit of extra reach and removal as well. Usually you're just going to cast it at somebody's face. You could just use Ral and then double it and just 6 somebody, which is pretty good. Unsubstantiate, again, just a good way to deal with spells or creatures. And then the coup de grace. So Ral's got a really great static ability. Is there something we've forgotten? There is. Sentinel Tower, which basically has the same text. 4 mana. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell during a turn, Sentinel Tower then deals 1 damage to any target equal to 1 plus the number of instant and sorceries cast before it this turn. So it doesn't count your copies, but this deck tends to play very quick, and this can just stack up and kill somebody. Speaking of stacking and killing somebody, I know, I'm gross, it's fine. We've got Aetherflux Reservoir, because you're probably going to be wanting to get some of that life back, and this is a very good way about getting some of that life back, and maybe doming one of your opponents. We of course have 1000 Year Storm, because it's an instant storm deck and we want to go all in on storms, and we're going to play all the different storm stuff that we can to Stormy Storm, Storm. Great. Excellent. This is hilarious. If you go off with this, if you wait until you have this and rally and go off with this, it is amazing because you're putting so many copies of spells in the stack. And if you leave something like, oh, I don't know, one of your rituals until like one of the last cards you play, you're going to generate so much red mana, you literally won't know what to do with it. You won't, because we don't have any mana changes in here. It's probably something we should look at. And of course, the Past in Flames. So we were talking about cards that we don't mind discarding. Past in Flames, of course, is a staple of Storm decks, especially when it has Flashback for 5, that's 4 colors and 1 red, and you can start just casting stuff again from your discard pile, so that those rituals and stuff, they're going to come back. Because we're actually casting them as well, it's going to trigger a whole heap of really, really gross stuff. Well, look, this has been Ral. Do what you want with it, tinker it around. It probably needs a couple of more creatures. I really like this deck. I played this the other night and it was a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoy, and I hope you stick around for more videos. This is Chesh saying, love me like I love you.